Hey guys, oSgtKickAss here, and welcome back to another video. We are back with another ERB reaction, and it is another Season 1 reaction. This time we have gone for probably the two smartest people that are going to be rapping on ERB, possibly two of the smartest people of mankind. Albert Einstein versus Stephen Hawking. So I expected a lot of scientific, complicated references in this one. So I'll try to catch them all, guys, but let's get straight into it. Nice intense beat.
Einstein versus Stephen Hawking! When I apply my battle theory, minds are relatively blown. So take a seat, Steve. Oh, I see you brought your own.
Oh shit, started off strong. So when I apply my battle theory, so battle obviously rap battle, but theory obviously in science they create lots of theories and then prove to be wrong or right, and that made it into laws and things, so like laws of physics and stuff. But minds are relatively blown. So if you blow someone's mind, it means that you've shocked them. They're like, wow, that's insane. But relatively blown, Albert Einstein created the theory of relativity, which is, we all know, is E equals mc squared. So that's why he says relatively. But then, no, take a seat, Steve. So if you tell someone to take a seat, it's like, take a seat and just watch me, watch what the professionals do, what the best of the best do. But then, oops, I see you brought your own. So obviously Stephen Hawking, he's in the wheelchair. He's got ALS. If you remember the Ice Bucket Challenge, that's what he's actually got. So yeah, he can't walk. He can't talk. He has to use the the machine to speak. So yeah, he's like, I see. Take a seat. Sit down. Let me school you. But, oh, I see you brought your own. Nice lines to start off.
Minds are relatively blown, so take a seat, Steve. Oh, I see you brought your own. What's with your voice? I can't freaking tell. You sound like Barney having sex with the speak and spell.
So yeah, as I did mention, Stephen Hawking, he types into a machine, and then it says something. It's like a robotic voice, so it sounds like Wally, the from Pixar movie WALL-E. Yeah, who's like a robot that cleans up the planet and thing, but having sex with a speak and spell, which obviously you type into, and it does a really robotic voice. So yeah, that's really good. Really nice little dig there.
Freaking tell, you sound like Barney having sex with the speak and spell. I'll school you anywhere, MIT to Oxford.
Yeah, so he's just, I'll school you anywhere, MIT to Oxford, so two of the most prestigious universities in the world, MIT and Oxford, and both very closely affiliated with Stephen Hawking. So he's like, it don't matter where you go, I'll school you. So if you school someone in rap battle, you're just much better than them. Yeah, sorry the background noise there, guys. I'm still in a house with cats, so they're making a lot of noise. But yeah, he's just saying I will school you around to MIT to Oxford, because yeah, they're both closely associated with Stephen Hawking when he was alive. So he's like, doesn't matter where you go, I'm gonna school you and show you who's the real king.
Having sex with the speak and spell. I'll school you anywhere, MIT to Oxford. Or your fans will be like, that was awkward.
So your fans will be like, that was awkward. So obviously there's that's awkward, but awkward from Hawking, awkward, Hawking, awkward. There you go.
MIT to Oxford. Or your fans will be like, that was awkward. I'm as dope as two rappers. You better be scared, cause that means Albert E equals MC squared.
That's an insane line. Wow, that could be a battle-winning line itself. So, I'm as dope as two rappers. You better be scared, because that means Albert E. So Albert E for Einstein equals mc squared. So as I've said before, E equals mc squared, theory of relativity. So energy equals mass times speed of light squared. That is theory of relativity. E equals mc squared. That's what it stands for. MC is another word though for a rapper. They're called MCs, microphone controllers. So he's saying I'm as dope as two rappers. So Albert E equals MC, so rapper squared. So times by itself, so rapper rapper. That is an absolutely insane line. That is a very, very good line. That could be a battle winning rap in itself. That's very, very good. Wow.
Rappers, you better be scared, cause that means Albert E equals MC squared. You got no idea what you're messing with here, boy. I got 12-inch rims on my chair, that's how I roll, yeah.
So yeah, you've got no idea what you're messing with here. Basically threatening him, saying, you can't compete with me. I'm the best of the best. But yeah, he's like, I've got 12-inch rims on my chair, that's how I roll, y'all. Yeah, so basically how I roll, that's how I do things. But yeah, 12-inch rims on my chair, like, because that's what he does. His wheelchair has 12-inch rims, 12-inch wheels. So he's just like, yeah, that's how I roll. But literally rolls as well, because he rolls around the wheelchair. Nice. Nice little thing.
Yeah, boy, I got 12-inch rims on my chair, that's how I roll, y'all. You look like someone glued a mustache on a troll.
So, you look like someone glued a mustache on a troll doll. So we've all seen the troll dolls that got mad hair and stuff, but they don't have mustaches. Like, you're that, and they're traditionally ugly. I mean, they're called trolls for fuck's sake, and they've got mental hair. And obviously Albert Einstein has mental hair, and it's basically, he's just called him ugly, but he's like, so he looks like a troll doll, but if someone super glued a mustache onto it.
That's how I roll, y'all. You look like someone glued a mustache on a troll doll. I'll be stretching up the brine like gravity stretches time when you try to put your little pea brain against this kind of mind.
Whoa. So we're going to have to go back there. So I'll be stretching out the rhyme like gravity stretches time. So we go back to the theory of relativity again. So basically it says that if the more gravity acting upon an object or the higher velocity of the object, the slower it goes. The slower time goes. So basically saying here that he can stretch out the rhyme like gravity stretches out time. Because obviously he's got to type it into his computer. I mean, to be fair, considering he's got to type it to a computer, he is absolutely nailing the flow. He's got an insane flow. But yeah, so basically saying, yeah, I can stretch out the rhyme and it can take a bit slower, but because there's more weight to him and things, it'll still seem like I'm going faster than you because time. That's very, very good. Very good line.
You look like someone glued a mustache on a troll doll. I'll be stretching up the brine like gravity stretches time when you try to put your little pea brain against this kind of mind.
So that's a very good line. That's got so many meanings. So let's just get it up.
Like gravity stretches time when you try to...
Right, there we go. I just need it up for the captions, guys. So when you try to put your little pea brain against this kind of mind. So this has a lot of meanings. So first off, if you call someone a pea brain, you're basically saying they've got a small brain, they're dumb and stuff. Then it was actually proved after Einstein died that he actually did have an anatomically smaller brain than other people. So that just does go to show that it doesn't matter how big your brain is, you can still be smart and a genius. But yeah, he does have a smaller brain than the regular average brain, so there you go. So that's the pea brain bit covered. Or is it? You think that's it? But Stephen Hawking, he studied string theory. He looked into string theory a lot in his lifetime, and he studied it extensively throughout his career. P-brain, here, as it's spelt, P-B-R-A-N-E, like you see on the screen, is a mathematical concept that's actually used in string theory and things like that. So that's a very, very good line. It's got triple meaning just for one bar. But yeah, he's like, and then obviously the obvious one, you're trying to put your little pea brain against this size of mine. He has a smaller brain. He's saying he has a big brain. He's a genius, and that he can never compare because he's got a really small brain. Very good line, Stephen. I think that's tipped the battle in his favour so far. That's outdone the E equals MC squared bar. That's insane.
I'll be stretching up the brine like gravity stretches time when you try to put your little pea brain against this kind of mind. On the best, on the Snoop Dogg science, I'll be dropping mad apples on your head from the shoulders of giants.
So, I'm the best of the Snoop Dogg science. So Snoop Dogg's obviously a very famous rapper, got a lot of things about him. Got a decent reputation, so he's saying, yeah, I'm the best. I'm the Snoop Dogg science. So I'm good at rapping, and I'm also good at rapping science, and I'm also the best at science. Very good line there. But then, I'll be dropping mad apples on your head from the shoulders of giants. So obviously, as I said, gravity's a big part around theory of relativity. It's about gravity, essentially, like the gravity's effect on an object. That is part of it. So he's saying, I'll be dropping mad apples on your head. Gravity was discovered by Isaac Newton, who figured out what gravity was, and yeah, he basically says it was like claimed that he was kickstarted and he got the idea from an apple falling off a tree and hitting him. So he's like, I'll drop mad apples on your head, but then from the shoulders of giants. So in the scientific community, if you say, oh, this is from the shoulders of giants, it means you've basically copied a different scientist's work, or your work is heavily based off of what they've already done. Stephen Hawking also wrote a book called From the Shoulders of Giants, so that's another double meaning there, but that's a very good bar. Stephen Hawking is nailing it so far.
Snoop Dogg science, I'll be dropping mad apples on your head from the shoulders of giants. I'm the giant whose shoulders you'd have stood on if you could stand.
Nice rebuttal. So, I'm the giant whose shoulders you'd have stood on. So, a lot of Stephen Hawking's work was based off of what Einstein found. So, Einstein's base is basically built the base for what Stephen Hawking discovered and worked on and things like that throughout his career. So, he's basically saying, if, like, I'm the giant whose shoulders you stood on, but then if you could stand, going back to ALS, he can't stand up anymore. Because he's like the disability, so he's like, if you could stand, but you can't even stand. So that's a very nice little line from him.
On your head from the shoulders. I'm the giant whose shoulders you'd have stood on if you could stand. I'll give you a brief history of pain with the back of my hand.
Wow, that's a very nice line. So the obvious line there, he's going to pimp slap him. He's going to slap a bitch up. He's going to pimp slap Stephen Hawking. Slap him with the back of his hand, but I'll give you a brief history of pain. So the slap will give you a brief history, like a bit of pain for a little bit. But the thing there is, Stephen Hawking wrote a book called A Brief History of Time. It's a very well-known and very respected book, very good apparently. I've not read it myself, but I've heard it's insane and it is a must-read, essentially. So yeah, A Brief History of Time, Brief History of Pain. Very nice there.
You'd have stood on if you could stand. I'll give you a brief history of pain with the back of my hand. You can't destroy matter or me for serious.
Right, so the conservation, is it? Yeah, the law of the conservation of matter, I believe. So yes, that's the law. So the conservation of matter, the conservation of mass, sorry, is the it's a law of physics. It basically says you can't destroy matter. So matter can't be destroyed. It can be changed. So it can be changed from a solid to a liquid thing, but you can't destroy matter. So he's like, you can't destroy matter or me. Like, I'm indestructible. I'm so good at rapping. You can't destroy me. Very nice line.
History of pain with the back of my hand. You can't destroy matter or me for serious. Ripping holes in you bigger than the hole in your black hole theory was.
No. Ooh, that's a bar. So first off, can I just ask why Stephen Hawking's playing Angry Birds? Just chilling with Angry Birds there. But yeah, tearing holes in you bigger than the hole in your black hole theory was. That is a bar. That's a hell of a bar. So basically, Einstein created his own black hole theory back in the 20s, 30s, whatever. I'm not exactly sure when he created it, but yeah, his theory, Einstein's theory, was if an object goes into a black hole, so when it gets to the event's horizon, which is when it enters a black hole, it will just be destroyed. It will just be pulled apart, destroyed. That was his theory. Stephen Hawking then posed his own theories in the 70s that an object could enter a black hole and it could come out via something called Hawking's radiation, named after him obviously, but it could exit a black hole by Hawking's radiation, but it would be so dinged up that it would, you wouldn't be able to see what it was. So say you put a giraffe in there. You wouldn't be able to touch a giraffe or whatever. That's just an example. But whatever you went in and then came out, you wouldn't be able to tell what it was when it went in because it would be so destroyed and messed up and things. So this was torn apart by the scientific community, peer reviews and everything. Basically proved him wrong almost instantly. There were so many things that had massive holes in it and things like this. And he did actually eventually, 30 odd years later in 2004, actually admit that it was very, very flawed and he was wrong. But yeah, it was torn apart very quickly. So he's saying here that in this battle he's going to tear Stephen Hawking apart bigger than the holes in the black hole theory that he came up with. Very good. Very good, Einstein. This is a very close battle. Very good bars on both sides.
For serious! Ripping holes in you bigger than the hole in your black hole theory was! There are 10 million particles in the universe that we can observe. Your mama took the ugly ones and put them into one nerve.
First of all, I love the little smirk he's got going on there. But yeah, even the 10 million, that bit is very, very relevant. So in scientists and stuff, they often, if it's a very long number, like with lots of zeros at the end, they'll just square root it. So yeah, they won't just write on and on and on. They'll just square root it and put that number in. So Stephen Hawking in his books and his work and stuff, he didn't actually do that. He genuinely just put million. That's what he did. That's how he wrote things and thing. So that's very relevant there. But yeah, there's that many particles in the universe for us to observe, because obviously the scientists, they observe the universe and try to figure out what works. So yeah, there's infinite particles in the universe to observe. But your mama, so your mama joke, she took the ugly ones and put them into one nerd. So again, it's just a dig, call him ugly and call him a bit of a nerd. But I mean, I guess in their community, being a nerd just means you're one of the best.
That we can observe. Your mama took the ugly ones and put them into one nerd. You wanna bring the heat with the mushroom cloud you're making?
You want to bring the heat with the mushroom clouds you're making? So you want to bring the heat, like you want to bring like fire bars and stuff, but with the mushroom clouds you're making. So Albert Einstein was very heavily involved with the invention and thing of the atomic bomb. So yeah, that's what that line's about. So obviously when a nuclear bomb explodes, the atom bomb explodes, it makes a mushroom cloud. So that's where that comes from. So you want to bring the heat with the mushroom clouds you're making.
Put them into one nerd. You want to bring the heat with the mushroom clouds you're making? I'm about to big rap from scratch like Carl Sagan.
So yeah, Carl Sagan, obviously a famous scientist from back in the day, and he actually once said, what was it? So the bake wraps bit. He once said, if you want to bake an apple pie from scratch, first you must create the universe. Yeah, I believe it's something along that. Yeah, if you want to bake an apple pie from scratch, first you must invent the universe. So that's what he's saying. If I'm going to bake wraps from scratch, so working off the bacon apple pie, bake wraps, he's going to bring them up off the top of his head. Like, that's very good. Like, and then like Carl Sagan, who obviously said the bake bit. That's how you get the reference. Very good.
With the mushroom cloud you're making, I'm about to bake wraps from scratch like Carl Sagan.
Because he said bake an apple pie from scratch. That's the from scratch bit.
And while it's true that my work is based on you, I'm a supercomputer, you're like a TI-82.
Ooh, shit. So, right, and while it's true, my work is based on you. So, obviously, he's admitted that his work was based on Einstein. He said in the past, Einstein inspired his work. His work was built off what Einstein discovered. So yeah, well, what's true, my work is based off you. Also, rebuttal to the saying, I'm the transfer shorter you stood if you could stand. Yeah, he's like, yeah, my work's based on you, but I'm a supercomputer. So supercomputers are like really advanced computers and things that can work out really complex equations and things and predict things and stuff like this. So I'm like that. I'm really technology advanced. You're like a little TI-82. So if you don't know, a TI-82 is a... Is it?
Is it 82? And while it's true that my work is based on you, I'm a supercomputer, you're like a TI-82.
So TI-82, I just wanted to check I got the right device there. So yeah, a TI-82 is it's a scientific calculator, We all know what they are, the big calculators with like all the different things you can do on it. So he's like, yeah, well, I'm a massive supercomputer, I'm intelligent, I'm an absolute genius. You're just like a little TI-82, a little calculator, mate. So the levels are different. Right, guys, let's get it down to break down who won. Right, guys, so who won? This is a very difficult one to pick. Very difficult one to pick. So I think I'm just going to give the edge to Stephen Hawking on this one. It was a very close one. Both had some very good lines, but I think Stephen Hawking just had those bit better bars. So yeah, Stephen Hawking, you're the winner of this battle. But what a battle that was. That was so scientific, so many theories being thrown about, so many different scientific concepts. Very difficult one to judge, very good, difficult one to like pick a winner from and like understand. I mean, a lot of those things will just go over people's brain, over people's heads and not understand. So that's a very, very good one. But yes, guys, if you did enjoy, as always, please hit that subscribe button with the bell turned on. And if you did enjoy, hit the like button just so I know you did enjoy this video. As always, comment below your favourite bars, who you think won. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Peace.